Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight. I just did half the intro with the mic muted, but I think we are good to go here now. As always, we appreciate you tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. We're watching the GTPs qualify around the circuit right now here at the Silverstone circuit. A little bit of track information, though, for you, since it's me up in the booth here tonight, all by myself. Christian Taylor not going to make it as he went to Talladega this weekend for the NASCAR weekend over there. But the location of this beautiful track, it's in Northamptonshire, England. It was opened in 1948. It's about a 3.6-mile circuit. Looks like it's got 18 corners, and a fun fact, folks, the first ever Formula One race was actually ran right here at Silverstone Circuit. Wow, what a fact, folks. That's probably the only time I'm ever going to do any research and development here. Normally, I just wing these things. So that's all I got. I'm closing this page out now. I'm not going to share the rest of this information. But as always, we appreciate you tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We're watching Motor City racing action here at the Silverstone Circuit. Qualifying's rounding up here. Gonna get the checkered flag this time around. So it's official, folks. Chris Damcollar, quick time 157.153. Gonna kick off from the pole position. Down in the LMP2 class, Casey Catola gets the quick time kicking off from the pole there. In the GTD Pros, it's gonna be Scott Smith. And then down in the GTD class, Kunal Locklear kicking off from that pole position. But if you haven't noticed here, folks, this is a wet race here at Silverstone Circuit. It did rain heavily earlier, but the track's changed a lot here in the last 45 minutes of qualifying action as we go through the order. GTPs always qualify last. We go from slowest to fastest class. But it is just about time to get gridded up and started. As always, folks, it's going to be a 1-hour race here tonight. Be sure to click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel in the chat. We got Connor Girard, of course, as always. Masano out there tuned in. He's going to miss this race. Masano usually out here racing. Not sure which driver that is. But we also have Steve Tucker, who's running in the GTD class here tonight, tuned in. And who else is out there as well? Looks like that's about it. But as always, folks, thanks for tuning in. Click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. Larry McReynolds, America's crew chief, has a quick message for you folks at home before we get started. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
42 right there with him. Smokes them. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's gonna be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh my goodness! He got dumped in IMSA Racing. Caution is out. Oh! He's dead! Toward each other, Richter jumps in. Checkered flag in the air. Scott Richter wins it.
We are back here at Silverstone Circuit in England. We appreciate you folks tuning in. We are just about gridded up and getting ready to roll here tonight on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Motor City Racing Action IMSA Multi-Class Series. We are ready to roll here at the Silverstone Circuit. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows from the GTP class. On the front row and the inside, the pole position, the number 9, Chris Damcollar. On his outside, going to be the 888, Julian Padilla. Row number 2 on the inside, going to be the number 79 machine, Michael Stewart. On his outside, the 21, Braden Carlson. Row number 3 on the inside, going to be Ian Drennan in that Hutchinson Motorsports TV number 96 machine. To his outside, Nate Benarowitz in the 93. Then we have the 694 of Alan Gullison, the 19, John Sanfilippo. Dropping down to the LMP2 class, kicking off from the pole position. Actually, it looks like Chris Massey, my scoring said Casey Catola had the pole, but apparently not. So Chris Massey going to be in the pole position here in the LMP2 class. Next to him going to be Casey Catola. Then we have Anthony Hutchinson, Sean Atkins. Hang on, folks. I'm just having some issues here. Give me a minute. All right, dropping back here. Then we have Papa Slander in that 99, Trent Blaylock, Frank Pisano, Bevan McCombs, Peter Petrucci, Braxton Jarrett, and then in the GTD class, we're going to have Scott Smith, Michael Hickman, Alex Lalonde. These are the GTD pros, followed by Peterson, and there's just so many folks. We're not going to go through the entire lineup, just going to be honest. So take a look there if you want. If you don't, that's too bad. So there's your starting lineup. We're going to call that good enough here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, here at the Silverstone circuit. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure, click the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel. America's crew chief, Larry McReynolds, already let you know about it earlier. And we're finally getting rolling here in Northamptonshire, England. Again, the first ever Formula One race was right here on these grounds. Who's going to make history as we split the classes here? As always, going to put the GTPs out front. They're going to warm up them tires here in the rain. Next up, going to be your LMP2 class, and it actually is led by Casey Catola. Not sure why my scoring had somebody else up there, but Casey Catola is going to be in a pole position. Dropping back to the GTD pros and the GTDs bunched together. And the green flag's in the air already. There go the GTPs down the front stretch. Green flag in the air. LMP2's taking the green flag as well. And we drop back here to the GTDs and the GTD pros. Scott Smith leads the pack. Green flag in the air for everybody. We are all underway here tonight. Or looks like Arthur Ramirez, we'll call it, has just junked it. Let's take a look. That didn't take long. Just a little checkup here. They're still rolling. So we're still good to go. Everybody's rolling. Nobody's quite junked it yet. As we look through the field, trying to get our track map to show up. It was working earlier. Now it is not. We're watching Matthew Elmore in the third position in this GTD class. Oh, we got one off the track. Oh, we got all kinds of truck cars off the track, honestly, folks. We got Braxton Jarrett off the track multiple times, like 3 or 4 times. Eric Jeffries off, and Edison Poole as well. Take a look here at Jeffrey. Forgets to turn there. There's a turn right there, Jeffrey, so he goes off. Let's see if we can find Edison Toole here. There he is doing burnouts in the grass. So he's going to get back onto the speedway. Eric Jeffrey has junked it as well. Let's take a look. Slide job. There you have it, folks. Big old slide job. So we go back out front here. Chris Damcalier, your overall leader and the leader of the GTP class. Casey Catola out front in the LMP2s, trying to hold off Sean Akins. So Akins in second. Then we have Anthony Hutchinson in third. These guys all bunched up here in this LMP2 class. Dropping down to the GTD Pro, Scott Smith, still your race leader. They call him the Rain God. He is killing it here in the wet. Second place going to be Alex Lalonde. I tell you what, this guy does not like rain. You know, I was talking with Alex. He told me he was literally getting heat flashes and waking up in the middle of the night, just dreading this race. Nobody is worse at water racing or wet racing, whatever you want to call it, than Alex Lalonde. Looks like Logan Manor has junked it. Let's take a look. Here's Logan Manor in his GTD car. Goes into the corner here. Slide job. Alan Gullison has also crashed somewhere here. Let's take a look at what Mr. Gullison does. Slider. There you have it. Edison tool jump. Folks, these guys are just flying all over the track right now. It's tough to keep up, honestly. So here's Edison Tool in his Four Loco machine. Not even close. Rips it around. I think that was intentional, honestly. Then we have Austin back here. He's a student driver, as you can tell by that paint scheme. Slider. Nate Benarowitz has junked it as well. Folks, I can't keep up with all these wrecks. We're honestly not going to be able to show them all. So here's Benarowitz. He's been struggling this season, moving up to the GTP class. Slide job. Drew Leonard, junk. Yep, yeah, folks, there's about 8 more I need to catch up with, so we're just going back live. Basically, take a look at the scoreboard. If you don't see your favorite driver, they've probably junked it. So we're keeping up here. Again, Chris Damclear out front in the GTP class, while Papa Slander is in front in the LMP2s. Who would have thought that? Papa Slander is your leader in the LMP2 class, as Casey Catola has dropped back to the 5th position. Boy, Catola was leading earlier. Well, not anymore, and I don't have anything on the logs to see what happened to him. Sean Aikens out front. This guy has been on an absolute tear earlier, or here in the last few weeks, sorry. You know, again, I've been talking with Sean the last few weeks, and essentially what Sean told me, I mean, these are just words from himself, is he told me I taught him everything he knows about racing. And that's why he has been pulling off all these great wins lately. And he's looking to pull off another one here for Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Well done, Sean. And the GTD Pro, Scott Smith dominating out front, a 5.5-second lead on Alex Lalonde. He is cruising. And rounding out in the GTD class, your leader going to be Kenan Locklear. So Locklear looking good. He's got a 4+ second lead. The closest battle on the track here for a lead anyways is in the LMP2 class. Sean Aikens out front trying to hold off Papa Slander. Looks like we got a battle for second here between Papa Slander and Anthony Hutchinson. Hutchinson's going to take over that spot. Boy, it's just something about the Hutchinson name in racing. They're just the best of the best out there, I promise you. Incredible. Puddles the Duck has junked it. Let's take a look real quick. Puddles is facing the wrong way there. Hey, buddy, you're not supposed to face that way, Puddles. So we got a battle here brewing for the GTP overall lead. Chris Damclear out front trying to hold off Julian Padilla. Padilla in second here. Got some new drone cams, but for some reason it goes behind the stands there half the time. So nonetheless, Chris Damclear out front leading this overall race. Sean Aikens has been practicing on the wet here lately, and it is pulling off. I'll tell you who's not doing good. This guy right here, Alan Gullison. He is struggling here tonight. He's running last in the GTPs. Scott Smith, though, is in a rocket ship. Let's hop on board in the Hutchinson Motorsports cockpit view with your GTD Pro leader, Scott Smith. Look around here. We got a battle here for, well, that's not a battle. That is actually Anthony Hutchinson getting around a GTD car. Oh, no, look out. Julian Padilla is jumped. Oh, my. Padilla is not happy. Look at this. What is going on? Wham! Absolutely annihilates this GT3 car. Let's get a better look at this. Oh, my. Let's go to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV chopper cam. Sorry, folks. There's so many. We'll go to the blimp. Go to the Harpoon Design blimp. So let's take a look. So there's Julian Padilla right there. Got the GT3 car right there. Just loses it. Wham! Debris everywhere. They're both junk. Bad news there for Padilla. He was in the second position. Will not anymore. Meanwhile, we're watching Steve Tucker in his GTD machine running in the 4th position. Steve had his first ever win in a GT3 car last week. They finally split up the classes enough for him to compete. Right now sitting in 4th position. Let's see if Steve can pull off another podium finish, and he throws a slide job. Oh no, look out. Right on cue. Well done, Steve. That's a live view, by the way, folks. So Steve Tucker gets it back rolling. Goes the slide job. But again, Chris Damclear out front, about a second-plus lead on Michael Stewart in the GTP class. Going back to the LMP2s again, Sean Aikens running away with it. A 3-second gap separates him and Anthony Hutchinson. In the, oh, hang on, that's the wrong class. In the GTD Pros, we have Scott Smith. Boy, he's got such a big lead. They're putting it in miles right now. 8.8 seconds for Alex Smith. He is dusting the field. They need to move him up. They need to move him up, go to the GTD Pro class. Because Scott Smith is an alien here tonight. Absolutely dominating this field for the GTD Pros. Absolute wheel, man. And then we have Locklear in his Marlboro GT3 machine leading this GTD class. Right behind him, though, Matthew Elmore. Actually, they have a challenge here for the lead. That is Matthew Elmore, folks, in the beautiful American flag Ford. Look at that, America taking over that race lead. This one's for America. Matthew Elmore taking it over. So new leader in the GTD class. Fastest lap of the session was just turned here by Michael Stewart, who's in the 2nd position in the GTPs. He is slowly reeling in that race leader. We're already about 11 minutes into this race, folks. You know, honestly, it's been a bit cleaner than I expected. We've had a few wrecks. We've got Chris Damclear flashing his lights at the lap cars. I'll tell you what, if you don't flash your lights at the lap cars, they will not know you're there. You have to do it every time. It's honestly a rule. They do hand out penalties if you don't flash your lights. So here comes Damclear. Is he going to do it? Is he going to flash his lights on this upcoming car? You better hope so. I think he flashed him when we were behind him, so he should be good to go. No penalty there. We're watching Peter Petrucci here in the 7th position in the LMP2s. Boy, Peter does not like the rain. He wants it to dry up quick. He needs the sun to come out ASAP because we're here in Northamptonshire, England at Silverstone Circuit. Boy, Drake Garrison, he is an alien when it is dry, but it is wet here tonight, and he's a mid-packer. Drake Garrison. Look at that snazzy photo he's got, all dressed up. He is a lawyer, folks. That is a fact. If you need a defense lawyer, if you've done something massively illegal, give a call to Drake Garrison. He only takes the scummiest of clients, and he gets them out of it just about every single time. What a guy. Going up here, Braxton Jarrett, I tell you what, this guy is so slow. I'm surprised he's showing up on the scoreboard. Braxton Jarrett's running dead last in the LMP2s. I'm honestly shocked his lap times are even registering for the timing and scoring. Going back here to one of the fan favorites in the Four Loco machine, Edison Toole out here running dead last in the GTD Pros. Boy, after performance like this, the admins might consider demoting Edison Toole to the GTD class. I certainly would. Speaking of slow, Marco Benetti running in the 9th position. He is 1 spot ahead of Edison Toole. Folks, let us know in the chat. Should they consider demoting Marco Benetti as well? I don't know. They might have a case for it. I think I'd do it, folks. I think I'd demote him actually during the race. I think I would demote him right now. Send him down to the GTD class so he can race with Steve Tucker. But we go back out front here in your GTP class. Your race leader is Chris Damclear, 3 seconds ahead of Michael Stewart. Real quick, folks, big shout out Ian Drennan. I am proud of this guy right here. Ian Drennan driving the Hutchinson Motorsports TV GTP car. Wow, he hasn't even junked it yet. We're 14 minutes into this race, and Ian Drennan has not either smoked a wall, spun out in front of the field, or just flat out junked somebody. This is impressive. Can Ian Drennan hold on for a podium finish here tonight? No surprise here, the GOAT of LMP2, Sean Aikens, your leader. 2.5 seconds separate him and Anthony Hutchinson. There's Michael Stewart in the GTP class trying to get around some lap traffic. Says, get out of the way, losers. I'm in a GTP car, and if you don't get out of the way, I will just turn you. Then we go back a little bit here. Michael Hickman running 4th in the GTD Pros. Pretty solid night here so far for Hickman. Again, we're here at Silverstone Circuit with Motor City Racing. IMSA multi-class action. Good one so far tonight. These guys driving in the rain here. The track is wet. It's never going to dry off. Hickman looking to the inside of, I believe this is a GTD car. Dropping back here, Casey Catola running in the 3rd position here in the LMP2s, and he has run back down Anthony Hutchinson, trying to get around him to take back 2nd position. Boy, we saw CK. He was your pole sitter here in the class, and he's rocking that new paint scheme. Take a look at this paint scheme here, folks. See if I can get the Hutchinson Motorsports TV drone lined up and ready to roll. Oh, here's Casey Tolo. Almost got taken out there by the tunnel. That was scary. Need to get some air here. Let's take a look, though, at Casey Catola's new paint scheme. Look at this thing. If I can get a better look. Oh, yeah, that's a good look there. The only thing missing, you know, CK, honestly, I don't see a Hutchinson Motorsports TV sticker anywhere. So, honestly, I'm going to have to disapprove of this paint scheme. Yep. Don't even like it a bit. No Hutchinson Motorsports TV sticker. Not a fan. 0 out of 10. But I'll tell you who does have the Hutchinson Motorsports TV sticker. This man right here. Sean Aikens out front here leading this LMP2 class. Let me grab the drone here. See if we can get a better look at this beautiful, beautiful machine. Here he is in the rain. Whether it's rain, snow, or dry, it doesn't matter. You can find Sean Aikens out front in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV LMP2. Look at this thing. My, oh my, that is pristine right there. That's the best paint in the field, I think. Yep, definitely. Best paint in the field, confirmed. Just confirmed it. Michael Hickman just junked it. Let's take a look at what happened here. Boy, Hickman's been working on this car for a while. Finally gets to the inside here. Let's see what happens. Oh, he gets dumped! Oh, my. A right hook just flat out dumped him. Boy, that was intentional, wasn't it, folks? Let us know in the chat. You think that was intentional? It definitely was. Marco Benetti has just junked it. Let's see what old Benetti has up his sleeve here. Goes into the corner here, hits the curb. Slide job. Look out! Oh, that was close. Hold the brake, Marco. Hold the brake, Marco! Oh, my! What is he doing? Marco Benetti out here trying to junk some people. Boy, they say, folks, if you aren't going to win it, be the show. And Marco Benetti is trying to junk some race cars out here tonight. My, oh my. Let's check out the Hutchinson Motorsports TV chat. Donnie Jenkins out there says it was intentional for sure. I agree, Donnie. Not a chance it wasn't intentional. He saw that guy get around him to his inside. He said, all right, you're going to pass me? Wham! Right hooks him. And he leaves him. But, folks, we're 18 minutes into this race. Let's take a quick side-by-side break here. Show off some of these beautiful graphics we got here with Motor City Racing. You're watching IMSA multi-class action here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. First, we got a message from Larry McReynolds. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
Folks, we are back here at Silverstone Circuit. You just saw on your screen there was a big pile-up. I think Marco Benetti involved. Hang on, let's take a look. Well, it's been a race not to remember here for Marco Benetti, and we see him in the wall here. Let's see what happened. So here's Benetti out here causing havoc. Wham! My. Boy, Marco Benetti. He's struggling here tonight. He's towed it, folks. He's done. They have loaded up the car. He has put it in the hauler, and they're leaving. The semi has left. Marco Benetti, he could not get out of here quick enough. He says he never wants to race in the rain ever again. A little bit ago, Steve Tucker crashed. We're definitely going to show that. Let's see what happens here. Slide job. Loops it around. So looking at the board here, Chris Damcalier still your overall leader and the leader of the GTP class in the LMP2s. The GOAT of LMP2, Sean Aikens. But here comes CK Casey Catola in second, trying to wheel him down. In the GTD Pro class, nothing's changed there as well. Scott Smith, he is flying out here. This guy is in an absolute rocket ship. He's got a 15-second lead on Alex Lalonde. Boy, it looked like Alex Lalonde was never going to lose again there for a bit. And Scott Smith says, hold my beer, boys. He is out here, and I don't even think that car's legal. I think it's illegal, folks. He's got to be cheating. Unbelievable performance. And in the GTD class, Matthew Elmore. Look at this beautiful machine, folks. Talk about America. Look at this thing. Let's take the drone around. Matthew Elmore got the America GT3. That is a Ford Mustang American Power. Look at this. Nothing screams bald eagle more than this thing right here, folks. Actually, I got something for you here. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a moment. You know what? Whenever I see this car, this is what I hear in my head. Matthew Elmore out front in the American GTD machine. My, oh my. That thing is looking good here tonight. Moving up here to the LMP2 class, Trent Blaylock in the 4th position, trying to get around one of these GT3 cars. And he's going to do so. Frank Pisano, meanwhile, in the LMP2 class, he is a newcomer to the series. Let's give Frank some TV time. You know, I was talking with Frank earlier. He was asking me some last-minute racing advice because, you know, I'm one of the best in the business. And I said, Frank, you got a long way to go, buddy. I'll try to sit you down with Sean Akins. Maybe he can teach you the ropes, but Sean's a little busy. So Frank's on his own out there tonight, and you can certainly tell, running in the 8th position. But we definitely welcome Frank Pisano here. Getting used to these cars here in the LMP2 class. Welcome aboard, Frank. Braden Beck has just jumped it. Let's take a look, see what happened for Braden. Whoa, look at he's trying to take my driver out. Oh, goodness. Braden Beck tried to take out Ian Drennan. Oh, gosh. Look at this. He takes off here and clips somebody. Uh-oh, somebody is not happy. So almost gets my driver. That's a good-looking car, by the way. But he spins it out, and then he says, you know what, boys? I'm going anyways. I don't care. Wham! Right there. Slow motion. Boom! Not sure who that was. I have a feeling it was Anthony Hutchinson, and yes, it was. Here comes Anthony Hutchinson down pit road. I'm 99% sure he's the one that just got smoked. Boy, it's a tough call. You know, whenever you spin out, it's tough to know when to go and when to wait. You know, you don't want to sit there all day, but you definitely don't want to ruin somebody else's race. It's just an unfortunate scenario there as Chris Damclear continues to lead the pack here in the GTP class. Connor Gerard in the chat says the track appears to be drying out. Yes, it does, Connor. My guess is these guys are going to pit and put some dry tires on. Folks, if you're tuned in here and you have a favorite moment of the broadcast, feel free to clip stuff. Do a clip there on the YouTube channel, on the video. You can make your favorite clip, and maybe we will feature it in a short if we've got some time to put together some shorts. So feel free, make some clips for us. Definitely saves us some time here because we don't really have time to go through all of our videos. Because, folks, I counted in the next 7.5 days, I'm doing 10 streams. Can you believe that? From yesterday to this coming Saturday, I'm going to have 10 streams. Honestly impressive. I don't know how I do it. Am I the go to broadcasting? Certainly so. So we drop back here to Scott Smith, the leader in the GTD Pro class. 17-second lead on Alex Lalonde. My, oh my. This guy is an alien out here. Scott Smith. Where'd this guy come from? Tyler Mantle is junk. Let's see what happened here with Tyler Mantle. My, what's going on there? These guys were not giving an inch. Just junking each other. That was brutal. Ian Drennan down pit road, getting some service in that bad, fast Hutchinson Motorsports TV GTP. I tell you what, that's the best equipment on the circuit. Ian Drennan, just a matter of time before he can find victory lane one of these weeks. Here comes Bevan McCombs in the LMP2 class. Meanwhile, Chris Damclear, you see this track is very dried out now, folks. We're about halfway done here tonight, going into minute number 28. Here with Motor City Racing, we are at Silverstone Circuit here in, is it Northamptonshire, England, I think? Hell, who knows? But all I do know is Silverstone Circuit, it was the first ever Formula One race back in 1950. And I tell you what, if you like racing where there's no passing, they're single file, they just follow each other for like an hour, hour and a half, you need to watch some Formula One racing, folks. I tell you what, best in the business if you don't like passing. If race cars passing each other makes you sick to your stomach, boy, do I have the sport for you. Formula One racing. Yes. Love it. Going back here, Braxton Jarrett. He's not very fast here tonight, let's be honest, folks. He would be running last if Anthony Hutchinson didn't get smoked by a wrecked car. Braden Beck back here in the 4th position in the GTD class. Puddles the Duck running 5th. Trying to get a solid top 5 run here. And right behind him, Steve Tucker. Last week's winner. Can you believe it? I thought them words would never come out of my mouth. Steve Tucker, a winner. Unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. Almost spins out again right on cue. Anytime I pull Steve Tucker out, either spins out or almost spins out. Meanwhile, Casey Catola here has run down Sean Aikens. Uh-oh. We're going to have a battle for this LMP2 lead. We saw Casey Catola start from the pole position, spun out or something early on. Our timing and scoring didn't let us know exactly what happened. But he has worked himself from about a 5+ second gap all the way to the back bumper of Sean Aikens in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV LMP2. Masano in the chat here. Masano, I believe that is Michael iRacing, tuned in here tonight, unable to make the race here. But he's tuned in here on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Where else can you see MCR multi-class action? The answer, folks, it's nowhere. Uh-oh, Ian Drennan has junked it. It was just a matter of time, folks. Let's see what happened. That could have been a lot worse. He just goes off the track, goes so slow, my timing and scoring thought he wrecked it. And Anthony Hutchinson has wrecked again. Boy, this guy is not having a fun race. Let's see what happened here. There's a turn there, Anthony. He forgot the track layout. It happens. Again, I'm trying to get my track map to work here. For some reason, folks, it will not. So let's try something real quick. Give me a moment. There we go. We got it fixed, man. I tell you what, I am a computer genius. Unbelievable. How did I do that? Marco Benetti has crashed again. I thought this guy was done. I thought he was done. Well, he came back out for more. He wanted to wreck some more. Oh, God, he almost took a guy out with him. What is he doing? This guy's just trolling right now, I think. Marco Benetti, I think he's done this time. Let's see if he gets back out there. He thought the track was dried up enough. Well, he says, it's still a little wet out here, boys. I'm done. So Chris Damclear, your overall leader. Michael Stewart back in second, followed by Braden Carlson, rounding out your podium for the GTP class. In the LMP2, Sean Aikens still out front for now, able to hold off Casey Catola in the second spot. And how about in third? Papa Slander himself. Boy, I tell you what, nobody spreads rumors like Papa Slander. He is always on X. In fact, he's on his phone right now in the car, posting tweets, spreading rumors, many of them false. The talk of the paddock, Papa Slander. In the GTD Pros, it's going to be Scott Smith out front. Look at that gap. This is incredible. He's got basically a minute lead on Michael Hickman. So basically a minute out front. Never seen anything like it. Michael Hickman in the second position with Herbert Pineda rounding out the podium for now. Anthony Hutchinson has crashed again, it appears. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness! Out of nowhere! RKO out of nowhere! Who is that? It's Nate Benarowitz, folks. Oh my. Look at this RKO out of nowhere. Connor Gerard will appreciate this. Let's hop on board here. Nate Benarowitz. He's in a GTP class car. This is the fastest car on the track. He sees these guys slowing down. He says, you know what? I'm going to get them. Wham! He just junked him. Flat out junked him. So we go back live here. Herbert Pineda is in third in the GTD Pros, and then in the GTD class, sorry, America's favorite, Matthew Elmore out front leading the pack. Kunal Locklear in second in the class, and then rounding out the podium going to be Jake Young in third. So we're 34 and a half minutes into this hour-long sprint. Watching these guys head down pit road. Scott Smith down pit road. You can't see him, but there he is. So your GTD Pro leader down pit road leaves pit road. Still your leader. No surprise there. Here comes Chris Damclear, and Ian Drennan has crashed. Let's see what happens. There's a turn there, Ian. Boy, I tell you what, I think I need to get on the radio and help Ian out. Let him know when there's a corner coming up. You know those rally car races where you got the guy in the seat telling him when there's a turn coming up? I think that's what we need to do in the GTP class. I'm going to install a second seat for Ian, and I'm going to sit in the passenger seat with him with a map. And I'm going to let him know every single time there's a corner coming up. I think it'd really help out. So that's going to move Braden Carlson into the second position in the GTP class. Against Sean Aikens, still your leader in the LMP2s. Kind of surprised he was able to hold off Casey Catola. We saw Catola run him down, get to that back bumper. Well, Sean's done a good job at holding him off. Dropping back a little bit here, Peter Petrucci running in the fifth position, right in the middle of the field with the LMP2s. Good turnout here tonight, folks. 39 cars signed in here at Silverstone Circuit, Northamptonshire, England, or maybe it's South. I don't know. All I know is we're in England. That's going to bring Sean Aikens down pit road, as well as Casey Catola, and then Papa Slander sneaking in with him. He heard rumors that they were pitting, and Papa Slander's not going to pass up a good rumor. While our pit cycle concludes here, watching these guys do their service, waiting for 1 second here, folks, working on something. There we go. We got Kenan Locklear in the third spot in his GTD class. Braden Carlson in second in the GTPs, 14 seconds behind Damclear. So we're going to take a quick break here, folks. Don't you worry. You're not going to miss a single lap of the action going Hutchison Motorsports TV side by side. You're watching Silverstone Circuit action here with Motor City Racing. We are back here at Silverstone Circuit with Motor City Racing. Right now, we're watching Casey Catola. Looks like he had I don't know what happened. He's 20 seconds behind your class leader of Sean Akins. Not seeing anything on my log. If he had a bad stop, or I mean, there had to be more to that as well, but no clue. All I know is he's way back there. Currently, Papa Slander just crashed a little bit ago. Let's see what happened with old Papa Slander. This happened here a while back. Slider, look out. Oh, my. Trying to find out who that was. I believe it was the number 30. Trent Blaylock, I think. So Trent Blaylock gets smoked. We're still rolling here. 42 and a half minutes into this thing. Jumping around here, Chris Damclear, your leader. In the GTP class, he's led, I believe, every single lap here in the class. All he's got to do is not get jumped, and that is his goal here tonight. Boy, how about this change of events? We saw Scott Smith. He crashed when we were under caution, and Alex Lalonde has actually claimed the GTD Pro lead. Let's see what happened here with Scott Smith earlier. This is a while back. Definitely loses a lot of ground there, but has no damage. Kind of surprised how quickly Alex Lalonde has got around him. I'm trying to confirm if he has pit. Yeah, looks like Alex Lalonde pit around lap 14. So, new leader in the GTD Pro class, Alex Lalonde, just needed the track to dry up, and here he is dominating this class once again. Watching him rip it around here. Michael Stewart in the third position in his class. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to get something figured out here. Give me a moment. Kick back, relax here. You know what? Let's go up to our eyes in the sky here. The Harpoon Design Blend, Brantley Roden up there. Head on over to harpoondesign.com. Paints start at just $25. Best paints in the business here. Brantley Roden. There's the blimp. Getting dark here. Track is dried out, so just take a look at some of these beautiful paint jobs. I'll be back in one moment here, folks. So we're watching Papa Slander here rip it around. He's in the 5th position here in the LMP2 class. Seeing a black flag pop up. Not sure if that means he's got to serve a black or what. But not good. Not what you want to see if you're Papa Slander. Looking around the speedway here. Scott Smith still in the 2nd position in the GTD Pro class. Alex Lalonde, your leader. Jack Peterson up to the 3rd spot. Boy, we know Jack Peterson loves a dry racetrack, and you can tell he is flying right now. Then we have Kenan Locklear leading the GTD class. Jake Young in 2nd, followed by Matthew Elmore. Well, I tell you what, every time I see that car from Matthew Elmore, just gets me going. Chris Damclear dominating this GTP class, beating Braden Carlson. 3 seconds ahead. He had a bigger lead earlier, but still holding on pretty strong here with just about 10 and a half, 11 minutes left. And running down pit road, I believe he has a drive-through penalty. You see that black flag next to him? Giving him the black flag, probably for cheating. Definitely for cheating. So Sean Aikens out front. Now he's got a 20-second gap on Casey Catola. Boy, we saw Casey Catola reel in Aikens, and he was on the back bumper there briefly, and then out of nowhere, Sean just kicked it on, and he just flat out left him. He's putting on a clinic out here. He wants to be #1 in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Power Rankings. We got some pileups here, folks. I'm trying to hang on. Alex Lalonde involved in an incident. My, there's like 3 or 4. Oh God! My oh my. That car, folks, it was Braden Carlson, is junk. And Alex Lalonde is probably junk too. Let's take a look at this one more time. So let's hop on board here with Braden Carlson. He is in a GTP car. Hang on, I got so many cameras trying to find it. Here we go. So here's the Hutchinson Motorsports cockpit view. Braden Carlson, he's going through the HMS TV S's. He sees about 4 different cars flying off the track. There comes Alex Lalonde. Wham! He is not happy. Braden Carlson is junk. Well, unfortunately, Alex Lalonde's night is essentially done. He's down pit road, and the car is toast. So he's down there getting that thing worked on. He's going to hand the win over to Scott Smith. My, this is getting crazy, folks. Trying to keep up with all these wrecks here. Edison Toole has jumped it as well. Got the 4 Loco GT3 machine. Oh, God, he just junked that guy on purpose. He turned right and just flat out dumped him. Look at this, folks. He says, hey, look, okay, so I'm going to walk you through this here. I'm going to walk you guys through this. Trust me, this is all fact right here, so hang on. Let's go to the chopper cam. Here we go. So here's Edison Toole. He says, go ahead. Go on by me, boys. You're clear. Go on. So he pulls over here to the side. He lets, I believe that's Scott Smith, go by, and then here we go. Wham! He says, gotcha, nerd. Later. Then he stops. Stops and finish him off. He tries to finish him off. He chased him off the road. Man, he turned towards him and says, I'm going to run him over. And then he gets going and can't catch him. So Edison Toole there just flat out dumps the poor guy. Then he turns towards him. Uh-oh. Scott Smith is junk as well. My, the GTD Pro class is falling apart. That's going to hand over the race lead to Jack Peterson. He didn't have a prayer to win this race. And then out of nowhere, Alex Lalonde junks it. And then Scott Smith junks it as well. So your two heavy front runners end up dumping themselves. They're out of the race. And now Jack Peterson, your leader. And here comes Michael Hickman to the back bumper. This is a battle for the GTD Pro lead. With just 8 minutes remaining here at Silverstone Circuit, we have had a GTD Pro battle develop for the race lead after the top two junked it. Meanwhile, Edison Tool just wrecked again. Let's see what happened. Slide job. So we drop back here in the GTD class. Steve Tucker running in the 4th spot. Last week's winner. Still sounds weird saying that, doesn't it, folks? Matthew Elmore up a spot in the 3rd position in the GTD class. Jake Young running 2nd, but your class leader going to be Kunal Locklear. He is way out front. You better look out for that 4 Loco car. He might junk you. You better get away from him as quick as you can. So again, Chris damn clear out front. Look at that lead. He's got a 50-second lead, almost a minute. He's flashing his lights. So this car will definitely pull over, right? Sean Aikens cruising out front. Boy, I tell you what, Sean is actually in 3rd in the overall. Only 2 GTPs are ahead of him. So he's your leader in the LMP2s. He's 3rd overall. Hell, he might win this race outright. He is flying. And I think Alex Lalonde has junked it yet again. Boy, as soon as it got dark, Alex Lalonde has fallen apart. Forgets there's a corner here. Goes off the track, just has to basically stop to make it through the corner. So Aikens out front by about 27 seconds on Katola. And again in the GTD Pro class, this battle for the lead in the class has continued. Jack Peterson holding off Michael Hickman for now. 5.5 minutes remain here tonight. And Peterson goes off the track. He's going to lose some ground, and that's going to give up the race lead in the GTD Pro class. Michael Hickman back to the pool. Boy, just a couple laps ago, Hickman was running 4th in the class. Well, he finds himself in the race lead after some absolute mayhem has developed. So that's going to put Hickman to the point here in the GTD Pros. Again, Kunal Locklear, your GTD leader, has about, GTD Pro. For some reason, it's moved him up a spot here, so hang on, just threw me off. Not sure why the GTD Pros are scored. You know what? Hang on. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Well, nonetheless, I believe Kunal Locklear has a quicker best lap, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? All I know is he is the leader in the GTD class, even though it has rearranged the scoring. So Chris Damclear out front with just 4.5 minutes remaining. He is counting down the laps. You know, these laps are about a little under 2 minutes. So just a couple more laps left to go here for Chris Damclear. Tyler Mantle has junked it. Let's see what old Tyler Mantle's up to. There's grass there, Tyler. Slide job. Uh-oh. He's thinking about doing a lap in reverse. Drew Leonard has junked it as well. Let's take a look. Just gets off the track here, lets the cars go by, and gets it back going. So again, we're running out of time here. Just about 3.5 minutes remain. Chris Damclear out front by about a minute. He could basically pull over for most of the rest of this race and still win it. Michael Stewart in the second spot here in the class. And again, Sean Aikens, your leader in the LMP2s with Casey Catola in second. Michael Hickman still holding on in the GTD Pro class. Jack Peterson behind him. And then in the GTDs, it's still Kunal Locklear out front. Second is going to be Jake Young. Still a bit to go here, though, folks. Couple more laps around the circuit at least. Checking out the chat here, we got Marco Benetti. Benetti tuned in. We got Matteo out there as well as Massano. Trying to read up on the chat here. Chris Damclear continues to dominate here in the GTP class. Over a minute lead here with just a couple more minutes left to go. My guess is he's going to get the white flag this next time around. Yummy Orb in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, Yummy Orb. Be sure, folks, click the like button on the video. Subscribe here. Larry McReynolds has a quick message for you. We'll be right back for the finish.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
And we're back here at Silverstone Circuit, folks. Again, it has gotten dark. It is tough to get around this speedway in the dark. Boy, I tell you what, we started with a wet track. It rained earlier. Finally, it dried up, but then bam, the night hits and it gets even tougher to drive. For some reason, I think we've seen more wrecks in the dark than we did when it was wet. Frank Pisano, newcomer to the league, has junked it. Let's see what old Frank has up his sleeve here. Here's a turn there, Frank. He has to slow it down, gets around. As we hop on board with your overall leader, Chris Damclear. I assume that was a white flag, even though I didn't see it. I don't know, he's not waving the white flag in my screen. If not, that is weird. We're literally 59.5 minutes into this 60-minute race. Why would the white flag not be coming out, folks? Who knows? Again, Sean Aikens, your LMP2 leader. 34 seconds separate him and Trent Blaylock. I'm not sure what happened to Casey Catola, but he has dropped back to the 4th position. He was in 2nd in the class. Michael Hickman out front. He is just a lap or two away from taking this one home. He has pulled away to a 5-second lead in the GTD Pros. Then we have Kunal Locklear way out front. Look at that. Over a minute. So we're going to stay tuned here on your race leader. Really no close battles for position that I know of on the track. The closest one might be right here between Casey Catola and Trent Blaylock. That's not even, never mind. That's with his teammate Nate Benarowitz, so never mind. That's not even a battle for position either. So again, here's Chris Damclear. Let's hop back on board, see if they're throwing the checkered. Okay, I think they are. Let's double check though. Through the final corner here, Chris Damclear. He's led from start to finish. Checkered flag in the air. There it is. That's the finish. Chris Damclear pulls off the big win. We have Michael Hickman trying to pull off the win in the pros. And then Locklear goes off the track, but he's got such a big lead, it doesn't matter. He's over a minute ahead. We're watching Sean Aikens here trying to bring it home in that Hutchison Motorsports TV LMP2. Trying to make sure we get all the leaders crossing the line here. It looks like Locklear is still a bit behind, so it's going to be a minute. Here's Michael Hickman there on the backstretch. And here comes Sean Akins. We're going to call this the side stretch because, trust me, I know this this circuit like the back of my hand. Again, we're at the Silverstone circuit here in England, Northamptonshire, England. First ever F1 race here. Well, folks, here comes Sean Akins. He's going to join history as he goes through the final corner. Checkered flag in the air. Sean Akins wins the LMP2s. Behind him in the GTD Pro class after some chaos happens, Michael Hickman. He brings home the checkered flag in the GTD Pros. And then going through the corner here for the final time, Cunal Locklear taking the hard right and the checkered flag waving. He is your GTD winner, Q Locklear. All right, so we're going to see who's available for some interviews. Get in the chat ASAP if you want an interview, folks. Don't want to wait around here forever. We'll start off with Sean Akins. I don't see Locklear anywhere. Sean, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy? Sean Akins, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
What up, my man? What up?
Hey, not much. Boy, you put on a clinic out there, bringing home the win by a pretty big margin. Looked like there briefly, Casey Catola ran you down, got to your bumper, and then I don't know what happened. You just kind of up and left him.
Yeah, man, we were actually in a call together. He had some computer issues. He was getting like 5 frames a second. And really just bad luck on his end and some good luck on my end, really.
Yeah, well, you kept your nose clean, you know, easier said than done there because all kinds of guys were flying off the track when it was wet, and then once it got dark, it kind of got ugly again.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. You know, I got by with only 4 X's, so, you know, really just kind of kept to myself and, you know, put some good laps together and came out with a good win.
Absolutely. Now, coming into this race, how confident were you with, you know, obviously it was a wet race coming in?
So they open up the lobby about an hour before the race starts, and that's when I started practicing. So not too confident, but just was able to get a top 5 quality position and just make some things happen pretty early. And you know, once the race came to me and did some more laps, I got more comfy and yeah, put it together.
Absolutely. Well, hey, a great job out there. You got it done. You dominated the LMP2 class, parking it in victory lane. Before you head out, though, you got any shout-outs or anything for the fans here at home?
Yeah, shout out to the good old HMS TV crew. Shout out to Motor City Racing Boys. Shout out to CK and Puddles and everybody there. Shout out to my MHR boys. And yeah, thank you guys for putting this on. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, hey, once again, congratulations on pulling off another win. It's been quite the season for you in this LMP2 class, Sean.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sean Akins, your winner in the LMP2 class. Let's see who else we got available. Looking for Michael Hickman, Q Locklear, and Chris Damcaleer. We got Michael Hickman here. Let me go ahead and get him in here. 1 minute. Michael, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
What's going on, partner?
Hey, not much. What a chaotic finish there in the GTD Pro class. Somehow you find yourself in victory lane after some madness happens there in the last 10 minutes or so.
I have no idea what happened to the 2 cars out in front. I saw Jack go off there a little bit and managed to get out in front of him. And then I did the exact same thing that he did a few laps later, catching a little bit of curb that was wet and just spinning the car around. It was a good time. I wanted a little disco party. It's okay. And then the dry tires finally woke up and just took off from there.
Absolutely. It seems like once it got dark, just some of these guys were struggling to stay in the track limits.
The track just really took its time drying out. I think guys that went onto the dry tires a little bit too soon were really feeling that, and the lap time just weren't there. I think just waiting until like the very last second to get on the dry tires was kind of the play tonight.
Absolutely. And, we saw Alex Lalonde was out front there, and he ends up wiping out and then just absolutely annihilates an innocent bystander. And then his night was over. And then not long after that, Sam Smith ends up wiping out himself as well. So that's what gave you a shot. And then you kind of wheeled that thing the rest of the way and ended up winning, actually, by about 7.5 seconds.
We'll take it tonight, partner.
Absolutely. It was a great run for you, though. You had the speed all night long, and it ended up working out. But, hey, before you head out, since you're parking in Victory Lane, you got any shout-outs for the fans at home or anybody else?
Yeah, tonight, we did it for the Lifter Tick Racing, got the livery on the McLaren right now, so that's me and Remy's team. Also like to thank my new official team running with Major Z Sports, so we're happy to run on the IMSA side with them tonight. And MCR, always putting on a good show. Same with you, buddy.
Absolutely. Well, hey, once again, congratulations. Parking in Victory Lane here, your GTD Pro winner, Michael Hickman.
Thanks, man.
There was Michael Hickman parking it in Victory Lane here. We're going to see if Cunal Locklear is available. I do see Chris Damclear, but going to make sure. Not seeing Locklear anywhere. Actually, I think this is, I'm sorry. These guys have nicknames, and sometimes I miss them. Hang on here. I got them. Q Locklear, your GTD winner. You got a copy?
Whew, what a race.
Absolutely.
What a race.
Yeah, a lot of madness going on everywhere, especially once it got dark. It seems like people were forgetting where the track limits were.
Oh, for sure. I kept my incidents down and just like last time, kept it clean.
Yeah, it worked out for you. You end up winning by, I think, 1:15 seconds. Just kind of dominated this thing here after, I believe there was somebody that wrecked that was out front earlier. But nonetheless, it looks like you up and left them.
Yeah, I mean, the whole race I was battling real hard with several people, but I think the strat call made the difference going from wets to dries with a dry setup to start.
All right, and how early did you go in to get the dries? Were you one of the early ones, or did you wait a bit?
No, I waited till the end of the pit cycle with just a little bit of fuel left, as long as I could on the wets, try and let the track dry out as much as possible. Even the first couple laps coming out on dries, ton of understeer on the hairpins and slow corners. But once it gripped up, it was just easy sailing.
Absolutely. And how confident were you coming in? You had that strategy there to have the dry set up and switch over there late. Were you confident on that call going in, or were you just kind of hoping for the best?
No, not at all. Actually, shout out to my Ames teammate, Scott Smith, on the strategy call. He ended up helping me switch over to the dry setup and when to change over to the dries because I was totally not sure when to come in and swap them.
Well, Scott Smith, an unfortunate night for him. He was a rocket ship when it was wet, but it seemed like once it dried up, he kind of got ran down there by Alex Lalonde, and then he ends up wiping out.
Absolutely. He was running strong, and it looked like a car ignoring the blue flags ended up ruining his race. So really unfortunate for him. That Porsche was rapid in the wet.
Absolutely. He was wheeling that thing. I think he was out front by like almost a minute at one point even.
I'm wondering if Lalonde started on wets or dries because we were really talking about the gap that was growing there. We weren't sure what was going on.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, once again, congratulations, parking it in Victory Lane here once again at Silverstone Circuit. Before you head out, though, you got any shout-outs or anything for the fans at home?
Once again, shout out Ames League. That's my home racing league. Scott Smith, thanks again for the strategy calls. Great teammate. Good teamwork.
All right. Well, hey, once again, congratulations here. We look forward to hearing from you more for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. There's Cunal Locklear, your GTD winner. And, folks, it is time to get your overall winner and the GTP class winner, Chris Damclear. Let's find him, get him in here. Here he is. Chris, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what a run for you. You basically dominated the race from start to finish. End up winning by, looks like 1:21 seconds.
Yeah, man, it was a good race. So the guys behind were quick, but they had they got hit a couple times. I don't think it was really their fault, but it was a fun one nonetheless.
Yeah, there was a lot of madness going on basically from everybody there. It seemed like, obviously when it was wet, we had a lot of spin outs and whatnot. But then once it got dark, it seemed like people were kind of missing the apexes and just shooting off the track a bit.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I think that quite a few people had computer problems. It was like everything shifted in the car, the colors, and a bunch of people's computers just went downhill. So that probably played a part as well.
Absolutely. But hey, it's good to see this GTP class, growing back again. We know last season the numbers kind of dwindled, but good to see you parking it in victory lane here. Ended up beating Stewart there by quite a bit, but good run for you here at Silverstone Circuit. Before you head out, though, you got any shout outs or anything for the fans at home?
Yeah, man, ESC Racing. Thanks, guys. The GTP class is an awesome group of guys. Everybody's there to help one another, and it's been a lot of fun. Anybody that's thinking about joining this league definitely should.
Absolutely. Well, hey, once again, congratulations, and hopefully we hear from you more throughout the rest of this season.
Yes, sir. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Chris Damclear, your GTP winner, parking it in victory lane here at Silverstone Circuit. And look at this blimp view. It is pitch black. There is not one single light in this facility. Rumor is you had to bring a flashlight to go to the bathroom even. But a great night of racing. Again, we started out in the rain, ended up in the dark. We appreciate you folks tuning in. Again, your GTP winner, Chris Damclear. Sean Akins wins the LMP2s. GTD Pros goes to Michael Hickman. And rounding out in the GTDs as your winner is Kunal Locklear. So a fun night of action. We appreciate you folks tuning in here to Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Be sure tomorrow we're going to be live with the season opener with the Flim Dogs Wheels America Series. That is a next-gen Cup series. You're not going to want to miss that, folks. It's going to be a good one. So subscribe to the channel here so you can keep up with all the HMS TV action. We have, again, starting from yesterday, in the next 7.5 days, we're doing 10 streams, including a triple header, a live triple header on Wednesday. That's right. We're going to be live with 3 different series. We're going to actually be here with MCR, their late night series. They're going to be driving Mazda Miatas. You're not going to miss that. We're going to be at the Roval. So we're going to be live late Wednesday night with those and all kinds of other stuff going on. Be sure to click the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Discord. In the description of the video, there's some information. You can join our Discord, all kinds of good stuff. But hey, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. We're going to round out the night with a quick message from Larry McReynolds and then the Hutchinson Motorsports TV outro. Till next time, I'm the GOAT, Blake Hutchinson. See you then.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stage
42 right there with him. Smokes them. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other! Checkered flag in the air! It's gonna be too close to call! Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness! He got dumped in IMSA Racing! Caution is out. Oh! He's dead! Toward each other with their chunks and checkered flag in the